joke had to happen eventually.
Alright,
It didn't.
the carnival
It
is
really
arrayed in
didn't.
front of you. What would y'all like to do?
Would Divine Smite be banned?
Considering it causes magical damage that you can't make non-lethal.
It may be a little bit frowned upon.
Okay, then I can't do anything.
Unless...
I
or
will
at
watch.
least it would be frowned upon if you used it on a person.
Right. Oh no,
Oh
I
yeah,
was
he's
talking
talking
about
using it in the fight.
the big tournament later.
Because me and him aren't fist fighters.
It might be a little bit frowned
mean-
upon. It is a wrestling and boxing competition.
I mean, you don't have to... Okay.
You
So
don't
me
necessar-
taking out a sword.
The thing is, you don't necessarily have to win. You can still compete.
It is wrestling. Okay, so I might enter. I might enter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you guys-
against the general masses.
I'm going.
There's only 8 soldiers in it.
I have no
Barry's-
interest in any
if it-
fight without a sword.
If Barry's the best at their crop, you know.
I am going to go to the gladiator thing right now though, where you're
The
pushing.
lists.
All right.
100% what I'm doing.
You head towards the lists, towards where they're taking the registrations for the boxing and wrestling tournaments. You can see there is a man there at a counter. They're still constructing the ring as they're spreading sand and putting the wood around the perimeter with Captain Clement and Bregan overseeing it. There's a man there behind the counter. He has several boxes behind them, each of them with an individual lock, and he has a piece of parchment paper. You can see the contestants have been listed out in brackets for the tournament. You see Barry and you see Bulwark.
Hang on, my fucking... Sorry, my dog's going off.
Kill the dog.
Bro.
There is still plenty of room for you as he looks up at you sort of expectantly, and he says,
So
You
the
wish to
goal of this
enter?
tournament is to get people. Do we really want to enter?
Well, it's still a tournament.
That is true. Okay. If as long as we think it won't harm the goal of the tournament.
oh, you don't have to worry about that. Of course, there is a prize for the victor.
Alright, so I'll sign up.
Alright, I'm back.
He hands you a quill pen and an ink pot and motions for you to write your name down on the registration list.
I do so.
All right. He takes it. He takes the pen from you and eyes the list and says, "Is there anything you want to check?"
Like belongings.
Any belongings,
Oh.
weapons? Remember, it's bare knuckle and no armor.
Oh god. What is armor without
It starts at 8.
It's
I have 7 armor class.
and you add dexterity.
What's your dex, Mike?
-1.
Oh yeah, you'd be at 7. But you have to think, like, the vast majority of people aren't gonna be monks. They're just gonna be people. So you may not be at as huge a disadvantage.
Okay, so am I allowed to use spells that only affect me, like Shield of Faith?
You probably could get away with it.
Okay. Okay. So I check all my armor, I guess. So I give him a shield, splint armor, and a warhammer.
Jesus.
He sort of
Mike's
eyes,
just
Hold
over
on
here
to this for
getting
me.
him-
he sort of eyes it, and he turns around and he opens up 2 of the chests, and he hands you keys 2 and 3. Says, I don't think that's gonna fit in 1. So don't worry, we got plenty of room. It's just, here's keys 2 and 3. Hold on to
Dude,
those
imagine if I was checking
Hold
into
on
this
to those
fight.
keys. If you lose them, well, you might not get your stuff back.
Here's my rapier, 2 scimitars, my short bow, a bunch of daggers.
Holy crap! What are you, a walking arsenal? He takes
Do I have to give him my standard of Pelor?
Nah. Oh.
I was
wait,
gonna say,
you're-
he's gonna take in
you're-
his standard and then use
Take it,
that.
but he looks at it. He says, "I'm just gonna set this to the side. I know it's yours. Don't worry. I'm not gonna let anyone take it."
All right.
Mike, I assume that you look like a slightly wiry, with a very very clean shaven chin, and just like a symbol of Pelor necklace on, and you look like the absolute most badass bare knuckle boxer ever.
Oh, except you're gonna be so disappointed.
Nah, it's all a show. It's not. The competition's really in the final arches anyway. The opening matches, have to happen. They don't have to be.
Right.
Bulwark starts waxing philosophically about how ultimately, even losing is still worthy.
All right. He takes Elwyn. He takes your weapons and he hands you the key for number 4.
I don't think Elwyn was competing. I think he was
Oh, I
just
thought
kidding.
I thought he
No,
did.
no, I was kidding. I'm not competing.
Okay.
I'm not a bare knuckle fighter.
What
Elwyn can hold the standard.
He could indeed if he wanted to. What would you like to do, Elwyn?
Give Colin something.
I'll be in the stands and I will start taking people's money for bets.
All right. Draw some stuff. I'm busy making brackets for the tournament.
Do we need to take a break? I mean,
No, don't worry about it. If you don't want to do anything in particular, we'll fast forward towards the tournament.
yeah. I mean, I'm good with just doing the tournament.
All right. Perfect. The night.
Oh, shit.
Uh-huh.
Can we rewind?
Why?
It depends
I
on how
would-
far we're rewinding.
It would be quite far, but it wouldn't interrupt anything.
Okay.
Rather than going straight to the tournament, I would have gone to see Damsel.
Okay.
Aw, ain't that sweet.
Damsel. Whenever you go heading towards the church, you see Father Jeremiah Jenkins is there. He has set up a small blanket, and he has slept on the ground next to both Damsel and Mr. Timmons. However, as you approach, you see he has probably 3 or 4 bottles of sacramental wine that have been emptied, and he's sort of
Jesus
sitting next to him.
Christ.
And he is passed out in a stupor. And as you approach, he lifts up an eye and says, welcome to the Church of Pelor. How can I help you today?
I just kind of ignore him and is Damsel sleeping, I'm guessing?
He is indeed.
Okay. Wanna look. Colin, we haven't actually talked about money at all.
You have not,
So my sheet was blank. Do you know how much money we start with?
it depends on
Your background.
background and your class.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let me look. You guys can do stuff, because this is all I'm doing here, and then I'm leaving. So if you guys want to do stuff while I'm looking at my stuff, I can...
Nah, I'm good.
Alright.
I'm literally just looking at my money, and then I'm making... So... Actually, didn't we find some money in the chest?
You did indeed. You found 30 gold pieces, and you also, besides the ring, you also found a scrimshaw sculpture that is worth an unknown amount of money because you have to have it appraised. You didn't know exactly how much it was worth, but it looked valuable.
I will, hang on. I gotta find my fucking... What the fuck? My Windows Explorer is fucking up. Alright, with the group's blessing, I would like to give, half of our gold to, or I guess, 1/4 of our gold to the church, and then 1/4 of our gold to Damsel, since we're kind of leaving, and he's hurt because of us.
I like it.
I mean, is Mike even still here? Oh, you are very quiet.
Sorry, shouldn't be.
It would be a very kind donation to the church.
I mean, I'm okay with it.
I'm already working for the church.
Money is second hand to admiration.
Jesus
All
Christ.
the money I have is from the church.
I mean, are we saying that a donation of the church is pointless? Because if that's the case, I'll just give it all to Damsel.
No, it's more me donating my money. I only have a little bit anyways.
I gotcha. It doesn't actually say if I start with money. So
I have
guess
14 gold, is what I ended up with.
We'll
So
say
I
you
guess
have,
I wouldn't have any of
we'll
myself.
say Bulwark, you have 10 gold on you.
Okay.
That's
So I will
pretty
give
standard.
all but 2 gold. And I will give 4 gold to the church and 4 gold on top of a letter to Damsel. And the letter is just, it's going to be very simple. It's just going to say, don't become a sideshow. Find what you can do and do that as best as you possibly can. And I fold it up with the gold around it and I put it underneath his, I guess, his boots or something.
Or what if the best he can do is a sideshow?
If that's what, then that's it.
Uh,
It's a letter, Lou. I can't open up every possible contingency, sir.
Alright, you move to the donation box near the altar and you put 4 gold pieces in, then moving towards Damsel, who is still sleeping fitfully on the pew. You jot down a very kind letter and you place 4 gold pieces in. Put
Yep.
it at his feet. And then you turn and you leave the church as you move. Father Jeremiah Jenkins sort of sits up, a look of confusion on his face. Is time to leave yet? And then he just passes back out.
Do I see any of the sacramental wine that is not drunk?
Roll a perception check.
I got a 5.
Nope. As far as you can tell, he drank all of this.
Okay. No worries. I go back to the, or I now would go to the carnival.
Alright, at the carnival, time has passed. You've enjoyed a day of games and good food. You've seen people contort and twist. You've seen the fire breathers. You've seen the acrobats. You have seen animals, both mundane and bizarre. And eventually night falls and the main event begins. A boxing match. A boxing / wrestling match, technically, followed by a huge bonfire to celebrate the end of a harvest festival. People are coming to the list now, many of them.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Alright, many of them checking their items. You see Barry comes in. All he checks is a dagger. He's followed by his halfling friend. His chest is bare. His fists are wrapped once again in this sort of now pristine white tape. You see a burly dwarven fellow come in, and he checks a overly large battle axe and a horned helm. You see a lithe elven woman. She doesn't check anything, she just looks around expectantly, excitedly. Each of the contestants is led back to this beautiful, lavishly arrayed tent. It seems that Captain Clement and Bregan have gone all out to at least provide some amenities. There is fine wines, sort of small edible things like nuts and sort of snacky things. There is even a pair of gnomes that are moving back and forth, offering massages to all of the contestants, offering to oil them up with this sort of sweet-smelling rose oil. And as time passes, eventually you hear the crowd begin to grow. People have gathered, the entire town has gathered to watch this event, this boxing and wrestling match. Interest having grown because many of their friends and family are now being involved. Many of them having sort of pushed themselves forward to offer themselves up, to show themselves capable of being a militia to guard this town, to aid the Queen's Guard. The din grows, the sound of voices, great shouts, laughter, pushing, shoving, and eventually Bregan steps in and he turns towards Beck. And he sort of nods at you. And then he turns to another opponent, a human, young, obviously probably no more than 20 to 30 in the prime of his life. He looks raring to go. He is stripped down, once again, nothing but breeches and a bare chest and bare hands. Les, Beck, you are first up. As each of you steps out.
So is that me?
Yes, Beck, you are going against a human named Les.
Okay.
You step out of the tent, and the crowd erupts into a great cheer, knowing that the moment is upon them, that the tournament, this wrestling tournament, has begun. Ceremoniously, you are led toward the center of this ring, which is now lit by bonfires as night has begun to descend. It is past dusk now. You can just barely make out the faint orangey glow of the sun setting, breathing one last gasp before it's taken over by the darkness of night. You are led to the center of the ring, facing each other, 10 feet apart. You see that he is shimmering with rose oil that has been rubbed across his body, and he turns down and he crouches into a defensive stance, ready to challenge you. Bregan lifts his hand and says, "Let the tournament begin!" And go ahead and roll initiative for me.
13.
Alright. He goes
Alright, I'm back.
with a 5.
Oh,
Alright.
so that was awesome. Sarah called me and I muted Discord, but not Roll20, so I had those really epic music during my conversation with my wife.
Nice.
That's what life's all about.
It was pretty great.
Alright.
Alright, so I'm just going to rush forward and I'm going to attempt to grapple the
Ooh,
person.
who's Beck fighting?
He's fighting a guy named Les?
A man named Les. He is a human in the prime of his life, oiled up with rose oil.
Oh, Jesus.
He's going for a grapple.
One of those.
Alright.
Bulwark sees this and shakes his head.
He's going to make an athletics check to try, or an acrobatics check to try to slip out. What's your roll?
Got an 8.
He manages, you charge forward, and try to wrap your arms around him, trying to pin his arms in. But the rose oil, as you try to squeeze tighter with a 9, he barely manages to squeeze out, turning towards you. And as your arms sort of collapse on his form, he basically rears back and tries to punch you fitfully. You got a 14 versus armor class against you.
I don't have armor.
He's at 7.
It deals
So according to D&D Beyond, I'm at 9 somehow.
it
But
deals 1 point of
Real.
damage.
1 point. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Seeing this, Elwyn starts to lower the odds for.
You can't lower the odds after the fight starts. Stupid ass.
Okay, 1 point of bludgeoning damage as he rears forward. He strikes.
Bulwark
It doesn't
slaps
really-
the back of Elwood's head.
It doesn't really.
Is
it
there
doesn't really
a,
hurt that bad.
Is there like an edge of the map? Or
Yes,
an edge of the
There
fight
is,
ring?
Funny because I was going to give him
has
pretty
been,
low odds to begin with.
There is a perimeter around the ring of basically wooden beams, and if you push them out, it is a loss on their part.
Alright, I'm gonna give him...
Okay,
I'm gonna grab
so I
him,
lied.
actually.
The armor class does not start at 8, it starts
Start
at 10,
10,
so
yeah.
it could be 9, yeah. I don't know why I thought it was
Oh.
8.
I rolled a 9 this time.
A 9. All right, let's see. He will use his acrobatics. You're using your athletics check, right? For your grapple?
Yeah, it's athletics or acrobatics.
Yeah. Ooh, he got a 4 with a natural 1.
Alright,
Oh,
so I've now grabbed him like under his arms, and I just kind of pick him up, and I'm gonna start walking towards the edge. I'm at
Alright.
half speed, so I can go 15 feet.
Alright, it is about 20 feet, or it is 20 feet from the edge. You lift him up and begin pushing towards you. As you push him 15 feet forward, just to the edge, he is right against one of the, sort of, wooden beams that is, marking the perimeter. And as he feels his heels pressed up against it, he digs in. And he is actually going to make an attempt to flip you over.
Interesting.
Alright,
I was expecting this.
what happened?
He's basically trying to like suplex back.
Ah, okay.
Wow, he rolled another one with a modifier, a low modifier, because he was trying to reverse it. You feel him heave up against you, trying to lift you off the ground, but he's not that strong.
It just lets me pick him up above my head.
And what you realize with your arm wrapped around him, he is not at all a fighter in any way, shape, or form. And you're easily able to withstand him lifting you off the ground. Alright, Beck, it is your turn.
I toss him out of the ring.
Alright, he is going to make a strength save to avoid falling out. And he does not. You
That looks like a no.
take him and you... Well, actually, I need you to roll an athletics check as well. For push.
23.
I think you're gonna beat a 5 because he doesn't have any bonus. You're easily able to sort of send him flying as he sort of tumbles down, crashing into the ground.
Elwyn shouts out, "There you go, Beck! I always had faith in ya!"
Thanks.
Alright. I need to go through the list here. After that, I'm rolling dice to randomly decide who wins real fast. That's this guy. The next match is between a elf woman and a human male. She has bright silvery blonde hair, and he stands probably a foot above her. Surprisingly large for a human, well muscled. And yet he falls within moments as she takes his feet out beneath him and grabs his arm in a wrist lock, and within moments he just crying out in pain as he
Taps it.
taps out as the elf called Stenna passes by. After that, there is two half-elf brothers fighting each other. We learned that their names are Verity and Alhandra. The two half-elves begin.
My money's on the elvish one.
Lou, you're not funny.
After a long, drawn-out battle of attrition, Verity is left as the winner, but he has been beat pretty badly as he has bruises welling all across his body. After that, Bulwark, you're in the basically the locker room tent as Bregan steps inside and he motions for the burly dwarf that checked his huge axe earlier, and you step out. He says, "Bulwark and Targrim, it is your turn," leading you out. You step onto the set. Were you gonna say something?
I would like to make an observation on this dwarf to see what kind of fighter he is,
Okay.
or what type of build he looks like he might be. Nope, never mind. Got a 6.
Well,
One of these days, that's actually gonna work.
it's hard to tell, but you look at him and you know dwarfs. He's stout, he's sturdy, he's strong. He's not the type to be pushed around. He's sort of low to the ground. Could be fairly difficult. You know, dwarves are renowned for their toughness, and he is he looks like he has quite a few scars across his body. You are led out.
Colin, just so I know, between rounds, would that count as a short rest?
No.
No. Okay, so if I use something, it's gone for good.
It is gone for good.
Okay, got it.
You might want to. You're in the early rounds, so you never know.
Okay. Noted.
You are led out onto the sands of the arena, much like Spartacus, as I have started 2 campaigns now with the sands of the arena.
Alright, I'll be right back.
You hear the roar of the crowd, a surprisingly loud sound. You didn't know a town this side could create such a tumult, such a loud noise, as each of you is placed behind your line 10 feet apart. Targrim is a muscular dwarf bearing scars across his chest. He is not completely bare-chested. He does have a essentially a cloth, like a cotton vest covering him. But other than that, he has simple breeches, cotton chest, compared to you, oiled up with your bare chest. Bregan lifts his hand and says, "Begin!" And go ahead and roll initiative.
That's a loss. Oh, hey, I actually got a positive number that time. That is a 15 minus 2, so 13.
Alright. As soon as it says begin, Targrim springs forward, going first with a 17.
Yep.
He is going to try to grapple you. It seems
Okay.
he is a wrestler.
Oh,
of some
copy
sort.
that already?
He is going to.
I mean, like, it's a boxing or a wrestling match.
yeah.
That's pretty much all we got.
He is going to.
Is that a saving throw?
It is it is a skill contest. You can choose athletics or acrobatics against his athletics check. He does have a good athletics check. He is extremely burly. He got a 19.
Got it. Let me see if I can't remember if I have any benefits for grappling. Okay, that's not till later. Okay.
Oh, did everyone go for a break again?
I got a 24.
Oh yeah, you are. As he tries to get his tiny little dwarf's arms around you, he can't quite make a lock.
Oh
As,
god.
You are.
I just realized I'm 4 feet taller than this guy.
as you easily brush him off, even though you can feel the strength of him beneath you. You can feel the sort of taut muscles as he can't quite lock his hands together, and you just push through this grapple, as he is unable to get his arms wrapped around you. And then it goes to you, Bulwark.
Alright, I'm gonna do like a low slung punch, kind of like an underhand throw into his jaw. That is a 15.
15 hits him.
And so it's a d6. I only got a 1, so that's 5 damage.
5
And
points of
then-
damage.
I will do another attack to do the same exact thing, except I got a 8, so that's enough.
No, unfortunately, that does not quite hit him. All right. He's still standing. All right. As you punch him, you snap your fist forward, catching him right in the teeth as he knocks his head back. He goes, and he spits a tooth out, and there you can see blood pouring down his lip. And he turns and he smiles and laughs a bit, and he goes full on into the brawl, swinging at you wildly, making a strength-based attack technically.
Is this another grapple check, or?
No, he's just swinging at you now. 8 versus armor class, so real
That is
bad.
a miss.
A bit
I will knock it away and ask if I should perhaps get out of my knees.
He just glowers at you and says, "I bet you spent a lot of time on your knees, boy."
You'd need a much bigger cock to reach me even if I were on my knees.
I guess you'd know all about that, wouldn't you, lad? It is your turn.
Not from you. A natural 20.
A 20? Alright.
That's
That'll
10.
10 points of damage. With 10 points of damage, as he fires this insult at you, you seem to have distracted him, and sort of, it seems your boasting has gotten to him as you fly upwards, just clearing his, basically uppercutting him right in the chin, burying your fist in his beard. He just flies backwards and lands on the ground, absolutely unconscious from that blow.
Oh, okay. My second attack hit, but I won't make it.
It's like,
And that is the tale of the
it's
flying dwarf.
It's the first round. It's the first round. We're not doing anything crazy here.
Bulwark laughs exactly like I just laughed hearing Elwood say that. I would go and I would hoist him up and carry him off to the I don't know, medical tent.
All right.
That is
so
a Oh, okay. I don't know if you wanted me to roll for it.
You're pretty quickly joined by several members, a member of the Queen's Guard, and several members of the town that take him away. They usher him to a small tent area off the side, a medical tent. You can see Brother Douglas is there, sort of ministering over them, casting minor healing spells, getting them up on their feet as they stagger out. He hands them a huge tankard of ale, the ultimate medicine, allowing sort of drunkenness to take their pains and shames away. And you move on to the next round, as well as several other people.
I will take a silver out of my pocket and hand it to Targrim. If he's not conscious, I will put it in his palm.
He is conscious, but he seems to be in a fairly sporting attitude as he sort of smiles at you. He's like, "Come on, kid, I didn't know you were gonna pay me to get on your knees." As he sort of tucks it away.
I had a feeling you'd say that, and I turn and leave.
After you, as you see the next match fought, it is between Barry, the lanky man, and a member of the town, what appears to be a half-orc named Groose. It's hardly a fight. As Groose charges towards them without any sort of real ability, without any sort of technique at all, Groose grabs his arm and snaps his palm forward and just catches Groose right in the chest and sends him flying 15 feet backwards. And as Groose lands on his back, a bit stunned, Barry is on him to deliver a final blow, just going slam, hitting him right in the jaw and knocking him into unconsciousness. And he moves on. Beck, you look towards the tournament standings and the oh god, why can't I think of the name of it? The ranking,
Lists?
the lists, the order, and you see that after
The bracket, that's the term
bracket,
you're trying
yes.
to say.
You see after Bruce goes down, Beck, you are next in line to fight Barry.
All right, I'm ready to fight Barry. Bring it, Barry.
But you are not the first round of it, as the beautiful female elf woman named Stenna fights a burly man named Boris.
Of course, there's a Boris.
He wears a fur hat and eats borscht and talks in a Russian accent. But no, we will see who wins by the dice roll. This battle is a bit drawn out, but in the end, the lithe Stenna triumphs over the burly Boris, standing over his form. He looks up at her with adulation, as if he has fallen in love. As she reaches down, she is bruised and covered in blood. She has suffered through her battles. They have not been easy sort of bouts. And next up, Bregan comes...
So,
Yep.
a little bit before my bout, I'm gonna go find a small piece of reflective material.
Alright.
Oh no.
You are able to sort of sneak out of the tent, and there is almost like a game, like a maze of mirrors, and you're actually able to find
Oh, that's what I need, actually.
a tiny
needed a mirror.
silvered piece of glass.
All right.
And, you're able
And
to find
right
it.
before I leave, right before I go out for the fight, like when my name is called, I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself.
Alright. Do me a favor and roll a sleight of hand check.
A 13.
Oh no, cheating in this game doesn't seem very paladin-ish.
I mean,
It's for sport.
Pretty good. Let me roll a
Also, maybe cheating isn't one of Mike's tenets.
well, that, and I mean, I am doing it in the tent, not out on the field,
Oh,
because it lasts for a full minute.
you take your mirror and you cast Sanctuary on yourself. Let me go to Sanctuary real fast to make sure what it does. And as you, just before you cast this, or just after you cast this, Bregan comes in and he motions for you and for Barry, and you each step out into the sands. Let's see. Reading Sanctuary real fast.
I'm gonna stand near the edge, by the way, because I
Alright.
saw this guy fight yesterday. He can kick my ass.
Alright.
What does Sanctuary do?
Ward a creature. Any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or spell must first make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it must choose a new target.
It must indeed. However,
What?
if the warded creature makes an attack or casts a spell that affects an enemy creature, the spell ends. So it works for an attack.
It works until I attack.
Yes. So it works for, unless you're planning on.
I'm warding myself.
Not attacking
Yeah.
though.
Unless you're planning
Yeah,
on
no, I'm gonna stand near the edge. Don't worry.
No, but what he's saying is it'll only work until you attack.
Yes, I know that.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. He is going to step out into the ring, and there's a huge cheer as actually people are chanting your name, Beck, as your renown has preceded you with this sort of tale of what you did to save these people. And Barry just sort of looks
Good
around
thing
to
I was
see
known as
Don
the healer.
flush and not interested. He seems focused as he sort of rubs his hands excitedly, a smile on his face.
So I'm just going to, so once again, I'm standing really close to the edge. Like I just kind of step into the ring a little bit, and then I give him a little bow.
The bout starts in the middle.
Oh, damn it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So I walk out.
Yeah, the bout starts at the lines in the middle. Each line is 10 feet apart from each other, and you're 20 feet from the edge.
Okay.
And then you.
I bow to him.
says, begin. He bows as well. And Bregan says begin, and go ahead and roll initiative.
1.
He did not roll well, but he rolled better than you. All right. He immediately lunges forward, his fists flying as he makes one attack against you with an unarmed strike.
You make a saving throw.
And he will make a wisdom saving throw, which, as a monk, he is also quite good at.
Yeah.
Proficiency, so...
Oh, that meets the DC.
I look at Elwyn and I say behind my hand, I don't think our friend Beck has much of a shot.
Alright. He is going to make one armed attack. It's efficient. Attack number 1 is a 13 versus armor class against you.
Hits, yeah. My AC is 9 right now.
Then he will spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows to make another 2 attacks against you.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, that one fails. So he only gets the 1 attack off against you. You're going to take 5 points of damage, and then he fails his wisdom saving throw on the second one.
Okay, so am I taking a total of 5?
Yes. And I will say that's as your sanctuary spell sort of flares into life. It astounds him so much he doesn't even make his second attack. A look of sort of shock on his face. And then it goes.
Do you know how much that would piss me off? Oh,
All right.
man.
So all of my things involve him attacking other people. I can't do my things while he's attacking me. I'm just going to I'll take a what is the dodge action? Not dodge. Disengage.
Disengage.
So there's
You
disengage,
basically
and then
run
there's.
away without. If you disengage, you can leave him, his threat area. You can basically run away with him without taking opportunity attacks. So
Right.
You can move your movement speed away. Dodge.
I
means-
walk to the edge,
Okay.
or I guess I run, but I disengage and go to the edge.
There is a dodge thing where he makes all attacks with disadvantage.
I
Yes.
don't have that. I think that's a monk only.
Nope,
you can
everybody
take
has
a
that.
dodge. Everybody has it. It's just monks can do it. Like spend a key point and do it as a bonus action. If you want, you could do it as just an action.
I'm not ready for that yet, so I'm gonna action disengage, go to the end. What is the as an action? Okay, so I cannot lay on hands.
Poor Mike.
And I don't have a piece of parchment, so I'll. That's my turn.
All right. You cast your hands up defensively, sort of pushing him back a little bit, and then you move backwards to the edge of the ring. He sort of eyes you a bit skeptically, and he doesn't move in all that fast. He begins slowly, almost circling in, but eventually he, with a sudden burst of speed, charges in, and he begins.
Okay.
Okay. He will make one armed attack. He will make a wisdom saving throw. It's 5 on his wisdom. His first
Okay.
one is he's gonna pass the wisdom saving throw on the first one. 24 versus armor class.
That succeeds.
All right. He's going to make another wisdom saving throw. Gonna fail that one.
That is a fail.
All right. And like I said, I'm stopping it on after one because he's like awed by it instead of continuing his turn. He is going to hit once though. 8 points of damage. I need you to make a strength saving throw as he uses his monk open hand technique.
Nat 20.
All right, you are not pushed backwards, but you do take 8 points of damage.
Oop, wrong direction. Okay, I am bloodied.
That's not a thing anymore, Mike.
What isn't?
Bloodied's a 4th edition thing. 5th doesn't have that.
It's okay.
Are you sure about that? Okay, well, either way,
Yeah.
Like, there are very few things in 5th where that matters.
You
Versus
don't have to
4th
really-
where it
you don't have to
matters
declare
all the time.
bloodied anymore. But I appreciate it, so I know sort of if I need to
I-
throttle back or throttle forward.
I look harmed.
All right. He catches you in the gut, and the wind is knocked out of you, and you can feel as he catches that he almost like tries to push you forward out of the ring, but you're able to sort of bury your feet in the into the sand and stop as you slide only a couple feet. You can feel your feet pressing the edge of the wood, though. And it goes to you.
Okay, and so I look terrible. Okay,
You're pretty beat up, yeah?
and I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna raise my fist, and then I look absolutely fine. Full health.
All right.
I'm gonna spend my lay on hands for 11 points.
That doesn't look conspicuous at all.
No, he just raised his dukes.
Yeah.
he did
No spell was seen to be cast. I just
no.
am.
He did a Jedi mind trick. Just waved his hand in
And-
front of his face.
So
I'm
that
not
was
as low health as you think I am.
that was my action. Here you go.
All right. He is once again going to try to pass the. He's actually going to grapple you. Try to grapple you.
All right.
He has a chance of this. It's not a great chance, but he got a 12.
19.
All right.
Wow, nice.
As he tries to grab you and wrap his arms around you, sort of shrug him off. And then it goes to you.
I will grab him. This drops my sanctuary.
All right. He will use his acrobatics to try to wiggle free. He got a 14.
Just FYI, if I disconnect, there's a monsoon coming in. So
I got a 9, so he's fine.
All right.
Wait, you get monsoons in Arizona?
yeah, dude. Like
Yep.
all the time.
Alright.
All right.
It rains about as much as a small hurricane
Wiggles
in
free.
an hour.
Calm your tits, Gunner. We're describing the fight. He, as you try to wrap your arms around him. He drops down to the ground, almost like he's like in a split, and immediately rises back up. But hold on, let me look. I want to check something real fast.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. He is going to make an attack roll against Beck. I almost. Let me look up something real fast. Book break. Just checking. Okay, he is going to make a unarmed attack roll against you. 25 versus armor class.
That does hit.
He's going to he's not going to spend a key point, but he will get his second unarmed attack. 14
That
versus
also
armor
hits.
class. Gonna get a 4 and a 10. 14 points of damage.
14 points. I'm back.
As
I look bloodied again.
he the first attack clips your shoulder, sends you staggering. The second attack, staggered, he manages to punch you straight in the chest, and it feels like your heart is going to burst as he rolls max damage on that one. It's painful. Painful indeed. That damn unarmed specialty. It is your go, however.
Alright. So, let me just check out my list of cheats here for a second.
Mike, you can't get the upset if you don't attack him.
I know, hold on. Huh. Okay, let's give this a try. So I lean down as he hits me, okay? So, right in the gut. I, bend over like I've had the wind knocked out of me. And I scrape up some of the sand from the ground. And I cast sleep as I rise. Drop, kind of fingering the sand at him.
Alright.
So he needs to... I need to roll 5d8. $26.
As you throw the sand, you can see his eyes sort of grow heavy. And he sort of begins sloughing the ground, and there's an immediate realization as to what you're doing, and the crowd just turns on you as they begin booing wildly.
Oh, that's fine.
And Bregan comes up to you and says, "This is not a, how do you say, legal tactic in these bouts. You can affect yourself, but I'm afraid this is a, how do you say, disqualification to cast spells that will affect,
I say one word, shh, and I cast command.
Jesus Christ.
And then I toss the guy out of the ring.
Alright, you can cast command if you want.
Yeah. Wisdom 13.
Bregan,
And Mike doubles down.
Oh, yeah.
alright.
I mean, Beck doesn't do fights. He's not a fighter.
What do you command?
It's just shh. So quiet.
Okay. He stops talking, and you turn and you take Barry and you throw him out of the ring.
So
And I
who was telling him that? Was that Barry?
Yep.
And I just say, I'm not a fighter. Even the stories y'all heard earlier, I just heal people. This is fun for me. I'm not, like, disqualify me if you... And I walk out of the ring.
You take Barry and you send him sort of flying out the ring.
I'm not hurting him.
Lift him up and
Just
kind
kind of...
And as he tells you to stop, Bregan approaches you to stop. You command him to be quiet as he is announcing it, and he does. However, after moments, command ends, and even though
Yeah.
you've shushed him,
I'm already walking away.
sort of waves his hand. I apologize, folks. The winner of this match is Mr. Barry, due to illegal use of offensive spells on him. As Barry is still sort of groggy, waking up.
Barry has another minute.
Well, yeah, he's groggy, but you know, he's gonna wake up.
Yeah.
Barry does move onwards by technicality because you can't. One of the rules is that you can use defensive spells on yourself, but you can't use offensive spells on him, on your enemy.
Right. I'm surprised the crowd saw it, but okay.
I mean, you threw a thing of sand in his face and he fell asleep.
Well, to be fair, I was doing it as a part of a pretend grapple move, but okay.
That would be
So he would have just slumped over me as I tossed him out.
Well,
But whatever. I'm okay with it. Beck was openly cheating the whole time.
That's true. It also has a verbal and somatic and material component, so it was pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious. Barry does move on.
says sand attack.
Exactly.
Bulwark moves to a fight
Huge
with
sand attack.
a dusky-skinned elf named Graves, who passed through the last round, beating a gnome named Dolly quite handily. Bulwark. You're called
Hi.
with Graves up. And, go ahead and roll initiative for me, Bulwark.
Oh, okay. I walk past Beck, I pat him on the shoulder. I think that you are unfortunately misunderstanding the reason for these events. And I roll my initiative. Got an 18, which means I got a 16.
Alright, you get to go first. Bregan squares you up against the ring. 10 feet apart, he lowers his hand and says, "Begin!"
Who am I fighting?
You are fighting a dusky-skinned elf named Graves.
That's not. That doesn't put me with much confidence. Okay. I will advance forward, and if I won the initiative, I will.
You did indeed.
I got a 15 plus 6, so 21,
That definitely.
and a 17 for my second. No, I'm sorry, an 18 for my second.
That also hits him.
That's 4 plus 4 is 8, and 4 plus 4 is 8 again, so 16 damage. Bulwark increased his strength for his level 4.
Alright. You send 2 strong fists forward, catching him in the gut and the chin as he staggers backwards, dealing 16 big points of damage. You can see you chip a tooth of his as he spits it out and blood begins pouring from his mouth and nose as he looks at you angrily. He moves forward and Bulwark, I want you to make a perception check for me.
He's cheating. Okay. Natural 20.
All right, you see in his hand a flash of silver as he reaches into his waistband and produces a tiny dagger that he lunges forward with you, making an attack with it. But he rolled real bad on his sleight of hand, so you do see it coming. So he does not have advantage.
If I see it, sorry, I don't want to.
Well,
You said I do see it.
You do see it. He will get the attack off before you can make any sort of like, hey, he's cheating. But
No. If he is able to, I would actually like to lean into him so that it to me as possible.
all right. Like I said, you see it, so he doesn't have advantage. But 17 versus armor class. I'm pretty sure that hits, right?
What'd you get?
17 versus armor class.
You're breaking up. My armor class is 15.
All right, 17 does hit. He deals 7 points of slashing damage.
How many points?
7.
Sorry, you're breaking up again, Colin.
7.
7. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take 7. 29.
And then he reaches downward and he stows the dagger in his waistband rather quickly, trying to hide it.
Okay.
Then it's your go.
I will look at him, and I will scowl, and I will. Can I get a sense of how badly beat up he is already?
He's already pretty badly beat up. He does not look particularly strong. Looks a little bit more like he relies on cheating and subterfuge than any sort of actual martial skill.
Okay. I'm gonna make an attack.
So he's back.
I
No,
got.
see, Beck didn't hurt people with his. He just.
I got a 12 to hit.
That will not hit him, actually.
Second attack. Second attack is a 21,
21 will hit.
and it's only 5 damage.
Alright. He will, as you charge forward hitting him, he will immediately try, or it comes to his turn, he will try to attack you. Once again, he reaches into his waistband and tries to draw this dagger. Roll a perception check with advantage because you know it's coming now.
Okay. One's a natural 1. The other one's a 2.
That's okay. He rolled a natural 1 as well, so, well, I guess
Nice.
technically he got a 6 total.
My armor class is higher than that.
Well, I mean, his sleight of hand was 6 to disguise it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter because with a 6 on his sleight of hand roll, Bregan sees it with his passive perception and immediately leaps forward, grabbing his hand before he can even slash into you, and sort of screams angrily, "No! No! This is bare-armed boxing, as you say. You are disqualified!" As he pushes him out the away angrily, as Braves was unfortunately caught cheating, and get caught cheating, you get disqualified. So you automatically pass on to the next round. All right.
Cheating scandals admiring this event. It's awful.
Moving onwards, Barry fights a.
Barry's awake, I'm sure.
Yes, by this point he's awake. He's still a bit groggy. Barry stands against the half-elf, one of the half-elf brothers, Verity, that won before. It is a close bout, and Barry does take a few licks. He does take quite a bit of damage. But in the end, he stands in the center of the ring, a trickle of blood from the side of his mouth, but victorious over the half-elf Verity. And Bulwark...
Oh, Barry won.
Barry won as he moves into the finals. Bulwark, you have one more match before the semifinals. That against the beautiful elf woman who has been who carved her way through Jareth and Boris, Stenna. Stenna steps into the ring, and Bregan
yeah,
moves for
let's
you
do it.
to stand across from her. She has sparkling green eyes. Her face has a cut beneath her, sort of right beneath her eye, and there's a little blood trickling down. She's not come away from these fights completely sort of unscathed, but she is largely intact. And as Bregan sort of lowers his hand and says, "Begin!" She crouches into a fighting stance much like yours, as it appears she is braced up, ready to fight have any sort of blows, this sort of diminutive elven form, ready to sort of take any sort of attacks you come across her. Beck and Elwyn, as you are standing there watching this fight, you see that there is a group of two elven men, both of them with beautiful blonde hair and sparkling green eyes, standing towards the back, looking intently on this fight. Roll a perception check for me.
Perception, you say? Ooh.
Jesus, that's a lot of thunder.
13?
Alright. Lou, are you there?
Elwyn?
Elwyn?
Sorry, I'm here, yeah.
Roll a perception.
Perception check.
Perception? Okay, what is my... +2. No, not plus 25. I got a 15.
Both of you see that the two men are quietly muttering to themselves, waving their hands forward, just trying to avoid the general look of the crowd, but it's clear to you, these two elves are casting spells. You're not quite sure which ones, but they're clearly tampering somehow with the fight.
Man, this is supposed to be like just a tournament,
fun-friendly tournament.
a fun, friendly fucking fight.
I had an amazing time, and no one got hurt in my bout.
It never turns out that way, though. I actually...
Alright, I'm gonna head up to behind those elves.
I actually
I'll walk over.
I want everyone to roll initiative.
Ooh, I don't like this.
Ooh, that's a 2.
I got an 8.
21. Blackjack.
21!
Ooh, that's not how that works. No one's gonna pay you for getting 21.
I still don't have my armor, do I?
Nope.
No, well, I mean, you would have gone to the box.
Oh, I mean, I have been out for a while. Could at least pick something up.
You didn't.
Holy
go to
shit,
the
that's a lot of
checkbox,
thunder.
though. Gotta tell me those things.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything. That's
Alright,
fine.
The elves, if I can find someone that has a generic token, because adding something is sort of a pain in the butt. So we are going to select. They're gonna be the elves.
I don't
You
see
are?
anything.
Yeah, we're still looking at the map.
You should have a turn order.
Oh, turn order I think is blank until you're finished.
Should be. Well, that's okay. I can keep track of it. The elves got a 4. What did L1 get?
1.
A what? 21? What did Beck get?
2.
2.
2. That's real bad. What did Bulwark
Yeah.
get?
8.
Elwyn, you get to go first. You can see, towards the back, they're behind the crowd, sort of staring, a little bit elevated, staring down into the arena. But their movements are unmistakable as they sort of, even though they're trying to disguise what they're doing, the way their lips are muttering, the way they reach in their robes and produce various sort of implements, feathers, and things like that. These people are clearly casting magic, and their targets are pretty clear. They're pretty clearly focusing on the people in the rings. Elwyn, you get to go first.
Alright,
Is this-
I'm gonna head over behind them.
Is this during
This is
Bulwark's
during
bout or
Yes.
just another random bout?
This is during the Bulwark's fight.
Okay.
You sort of snake your way, make a acrobatics check for me real fast, as the crowd is dense and you kind of have to slither your way through them, almost, as they present obstacles, essentially. Matt.
7.
Did you hear? What was it?
14.
14. A good roll, good enough that you're able. You bump into a couple shoulders. They sort of turn towards you, but for the most part, you are
Scoozy.
uninterrupted as you move through the crowd. They're not very far away. You're able to get right behind them, as you can see here. You can hear them muttering. It's the tongue of the elves. They're speaking in Elvish.
I speak Elvish.
I also speak Elven.
I do not.
Are muttering. You hear that they're trying to decide what spell they should cast. If they should cast bark skin on her, or perhaps some sort of sleep spell on him. But that was your movement. Would you like to do anything else?
Am I behind them yet?
You are indeed behind them.
Alright. I'm gonna take out my couple of daggers, put them into their backs, and tell them, let's go for a little walk, shall we?
Alright.
Elwyn doesn't hear it, but Bulwark groans softly.
Roll an intimidation check.
Oh, my intimidation's not too bad. 17.
You place a dagger in both. Well, you pull out 2 daggers and place one into both their backs. As soon as they feel the cold steel pressing up against them, their muttering stops as they turn to look at you. One of them
Alright, it's to the ring for you boys.
One of them sort of blanches, his face turning white with terror. The other sort of eyes you up and down. Says, "What are you going to do? Kill us in front of this crowd of people?"
I wouldn't kill you. This is just to make sure you don't run.
I suppose you have us at a disadvantage. And they turn and eye each other. They sort of drop the material components they were doing and sort of raise their hands, showing that they have no weapons. That's your move and your action. Do you have a bonus action?
Nope, that's it.
Alright.
Ready to start walking them up to the ring.
Afterwards, it goes to Bulwark.
I don't think this is an in-depth observation that I'm trying to make. Does she look like she's in this ring against her will?
Roll an insight check.
I will make a perception check if I have to.
Roll an insight check.
What was that?
Insight.
Insight. Okay, hold on. Okay. That is a 6.
As far as you can tell, she is absolutely ready to fight and perfectly fine with being here.
Cool. I will then... dodge is an action, right?
Yes, unless you have a class ability that lets you do it otherwise.
I don't think I do. Is this the semifinal?
Yes it is.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm good. If that is my action, then I will, because I can't. So.
Alright. It moves to Stena, who sees you basically not move at all, just sort of get ready, anticipating her attacks. There is a look of sort of confusion on her face as she is going to cock her head to the side and look at you for a second, but then she rushes forward and she is going to swing at you. And you were surprised as it's like a slap. She hit roll a 13, but for her to have come this far, it's odd. As soon as she hits you, it's like I said, it's basically a slap. Does a 13 versus armor class hit you?
It does not.
You're easily, and she actually has disadvantage on it. So yeah, 13. Wow. She crit the other one, but yes. You're easily able to sort of cast it aside. It's kind of sad, honestly.
You're breaking up a lot more, Colin.
Yeah.
Holy crap. See if the internet is being used real fast.
Probably is. Whatever they were watching is probably over by now.
Yeah, I guess we have been playing for quite a while.
Yeah, I think we've been on for about 4 hours now.
Just about.
Yeah, everyone's watching YouTube videos now. We'll wrap this up real quick. Beck, it goes to you. You can see that the Elwyn has his daggers pressed against well, now technically the gut of the two men who have their hands lifted up in the air. A look of shock on their face as they have been caught. Casting
Nothing
spells.
personal, kid.
What in particular would you like to do? You have indeed just caught them cheating.
Oh, it's back to me already?
It's Beck.
It would be me.
Beck, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He saw them as well.
So I'm just gonna walk up and say, it's a bit violent, don't you think, Elwyn?
Oh, it's just so that way they don't run. Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt them. You wanna hold one?
Well, I mean, it's not that I'm against this in this particular arrangement. What were you casting?
We weren't doing anything?
Uh-huh.
And now a story I'll believe.
I'm sure you all, but I look at them and say, I'm sure the two of you realize I know how to cast. Given that I just did it in front of everyone.
We were, if you must know, we were casting, and then they both take off running in 2 different directions.
I just grab one.
I reach out to grab one.
Alright, both of you make grapple checks.
What is that? Just strength?
Yeah, athletics.
Yeah.
Athletics.
Athletics.
Yeah, or you could do acrobatics, I believe. No, to grapple, it's just athletics.
Yeah.
It's just
To
athletics.
escape a grapple, it's athletics or
Acrobatics.
20.
I got a 4.
Non-natural 20.
Alright, I heard Beck and then Elwin, so it's 20, then 4, which is perfect, because a 20 and then a 4. Alright, the first one with the 20, you do manage to grapple him. A 4, unfortunately, is not quite enough, but he doesn't go running towards the ring. He, like, dissipates, just takes off running in the opposite direction into the darkness.
Freaking bastard.
So I just have this guy. I
Yes.
assume I just one-handed, like, his neck.
Just grab him by the scruff of his collar.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
exactly. I just kind of
As you
pull him
grab
back over. I give him a pat.
Please let me go. We were just trying to make some money.
Yeah.
And then technically
Very,
it would be Elwin's turn.
I mean, we all want to make some money, but this is not how you do it. Suppose we can parade you around instead of both you and your friend there.
What would you like to do, Elwin? The other one has taken off running, but he's running, like, away from the match, so he's probably not likely to have any more effect on it.
Yeah. I mean, he's gone, so let's go ahead and we'll just parade this one around.
Alright, you come and you grab the, sort of standing next to Beck, grab his arm, the opposite arm, and begin pushing him through the crowd. Would you actually like to say, hey everyone, this guy's a cheater?
No, I just
No.
want to sit down with him.
Alright.
Right up front.
Alright, so you push him towards the front, you don't say anything, but you sort of, each of you with an arm, and you like force him to sit down.
Just right in front of the woman
Collapses on
in the
her
match.
Bulwark. Looking off to the side, you see Elwin and Beck appear with a fair-skinned, fair-haired, green-eyed elf that very closely resembles the woman that you're fighting, Stena.
I just wave, point at him, and give him the okay.
And you see, like I said, Elwin just sort of wave and sort of give you the thumbs up as they force this man to sit down, and you can see there's a look of abject terror on his face.
There's a big smile on mine. I'm giving him the one arm, like, bro hug. You know, I'm having a great time.
Bulwark, what would you like to do?
what would Bulwark like to do?
Yes.
Bulwark is gonna ignore all of this and punch the lady in the face.
Ew.
Bulwark got a 21,
That'll hit.
and let's see, that is a 20, not natural for the second attack.
That will also hit.
So that's a 9 damage for the first, and 5 damage for the second.
Alright. You go up against her head like your name is Ike Turner. As,
Oh, Jesus!
lacking the protective abilities and magics of her brothers, she has no defenses as you just take one fist and snap it forward and it snaps her head backwards. As you can see, there's a look of absolute shock on her face as she reaches up and collapses almost to the ground, slowly lifting her head out. The second attack catches her just beneath the chin, and though she doesn't fall unconscious, she does crumple to the ground, sort of tears in her eyes, clutching her face. Is there anything else you'd
Alright.
like to do?
I'll hold on to this guy.
I
Beck, you go
I
deal with that.
I stand her up because I'm assuming she's out, right?
She's not out cold, but she didn't get knocked out, but she did fall to the ground.
I would stand her up if I can. I tell her, please don't enter an arena under the pretense that you won't be hurt.
She's. Her
You hear
eyes-
Beck yell, or go in expecting it.
Her face is beginning to swell and turn a disgusting purple color. As
Actually,
she's-
does Beck even have any more lay on hands? Heal
I've
with?
got 4 points worth.
Well, that doesn't matter so much as it comes to her turn, and she makes like one last futile slapping attack at Bulwark with a 7, which you easily just sort of slap to the side, and just looking up at you, she just sort of raises her hand and says, "I yield. I give up." As she.
I would like to walk her to the arena, and I would like to punch both of her brothers in the face.
Oh, the other one ran.
One of them's.
Oh, I'm gonna
gone.
find him.
We're holding the other one here for you.
Yeah, one of them
Cool.
literally took off running into the night, just terrified at the thought of being caught. The other one
Alright.
is sitting like front row and center, this look of terror on his face as his eyes dart back and forth at Beck on one side and Elwyn on another.
I got a 13 to punch him.
I don't think you need to roll for that, as he's being basically held down. As you just come up to him and sock him right in the jaw, and he just splays outward. And there's a loud intake of breath as the crowd sees you knock him out, and sort of this laugh as he sort of slowly rises, and seeing you standing above him, he like begins scrambling over people to try to escape.
I
I-
jump up onto a chair. Ladies and gentlemen, let this be a cautionary tale.
I let both of them go under the pretense that they will tell their brother that they're all collectively idiots.
Alright?
The man you saw before you just get pummeled was indeed...
Actually, yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Alright.
I mean, I don't have much more to say about it.
Hype Man raises the hype as finally Bregan motions for you to step back into the ring, and he motions off to the other side of the crowd as Barry steps into the ring. The finals of the boxing and wrestling tournament are set to begin. Barry, thin, lithe, hands wrapped, no longer with these pristine white bandages. They're covered in blood and stained yellowish from sweat. Standing 10 feet across from you, ready to determine who is the best unarmed fighter. And we'll pick up there next week with the tournament being decided.